I'm trying so hard to scour the internet for holiday related books, and none of them are sticking out to me. Hey, welcome to today's video. My name is Jessie. This is Bookmas Day 4. I'm going to be talking about all the books that I want to read during the winter, holiday themed reads, not holiday themed reads, just what I want to get up to during these next few months. I don't know why I just don't want to read any holiday themed books. I haven't read too many in the past. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I did have a handful of holiday themed recommendations, but as of this year, I don't really care to read any. There's a couple that I have that I will be talking about, but other than that, I literally have no idea what holiday themed books I want to read. Am I a Scrooge? I don't know. I have a little list here of my TBR. The first book that is holiday themed that I would like to read is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. I've heard great things about this. I know there's Holiday Romance and then Snowed In. So it's book 1 and 2, and it has my favorite concept where a couple people are stuck because of a storm. And in this case, in the wintertime, a snowstorm. Love that. Will always love that. So I definitely think I'm gonna like this one. It's about Molly and Andrew. They're traveling to Ireland for this vacation, this holiday vacation. They do this every year, but a snowstorm grounds their flight. They are friends. They've been friends for a while. Nothing romantic has ever happened between them, but once a year for the last 10 years, they've gone on a trip to Ireland. They just catch up with each other in their lives, and I guess they are very different from each other, but they just want to keep this tradition alive and going, so they continue to do it every year. And Molly doesn't really care for Christmas, but Andrew is a complete fanatic, loves Christmas, one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes. I guess they're stuck right now. They can't get to Ireland because of this snowstorm, but she really wants to get him there because he loves this, and this is something that he enjoys every year, and she doesn't want to ruin that for him. So she tries her best to get him over there. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this. I may pick up both books if I really like this one and I read this earlier on in December. Next up, I have The Holiday College by Sarah Morgan. If you watched my video yesterday on my book recs, I did have one book by her and I really enjoyed it. I liked her writing, so I want to get into another holiday themed book by her. This, quite honestly, is the cutest cover that I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know why I love it so much, but her covers are absolutely adorable. Makes me want to read every book by her. This is about our main character, Imogen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Her job is marketing. She's very good at this. And it says, to the outside world, her colleagues don't know that while her high-achieving professional image is real, the happy childhood stories she spins are as fake as her pretend enthusiasm for Christmas. So she doesn't like Christmas. She works 24/7 to just ignore the holiday season. And this time, she gets extreme burnout because of this. So she gets handed this gift of time off of work. And she's obviously not liking this because she likes to work 24/7. She doesn't want to focus on Christmas or the holidays, and then she gets an invitation from one of her clients named Dorothy to stay at Dorothy's cottage for this season. And then we have Imogen wondering if this is something that she really needs, if this is going to change her life and just help her replenish herself and find out how to fix her burnout. And then we're also following Dorothy. This is, I guess, a dual point of view where we're getting the perspectives of both of them at certain points. So Dorothy is finding that helping Imogen may help her make reparations for Dorothy's own past. And then we're also hoping that Dorothy's company will help Imogen as well. So this just seems very wholesome. Sarah Morgan's books definitely go on to a deeper level emotionally, which I always love that, and especially during the holiday season. Emotions are very high for a lot of people. I think her books will be very good for the winter time. This is the only other holiday book that I have on my TBR. I was also thinking of The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, but I know that this is technically book 2 in a series. I don't know if it's recommended to read the first book. I believe it's called Mr. Fixer-Upper. I have liked Lucy Score in the past though, so maybe I will pick up Mr. Fixer-Upper and then read The Christmas Fix, but I just don't know if I want to take the time to do that. So if you've read The Christmas Fix, and let me know if I should read the first book before going into this one or if I can just read The Christmas Fix. Moving on to non-holiday themed books, this is also a winter themed, but this is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I read Anxious People by him earlier this year or during the summertime. Absolutely loved it. Fell in love with his writing. I've watched a couple of his interviews and he just seems like such a humble, fantastic person. He's definitely someone that I want to support. Just what he says, his words, his speeches, his quotes. I just really appreciate what he gives to this world. So Beartown is a tiny community with all these people who know each other, which is something that I love. I love this small town aspect, found family. It says Beartown is a tiny community nestled deep in the forest, and it's slowly losing ground to the ever-encroaching trees. There's an old ice rink down at the lake. It was built generations ago by the men who founded the town, and it says in that ice rink is the reason people in Beartown believe that tomorrow will be better than today. They have a junior ice hockey team, which this book is very hockey focused from what I have heard. They're about to compete in the national semifinals. It seems like the whole community is going to come together and root on these boys in this hockey team, just show love for each other. But it also says that the semifinal match is the catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized in a town in turmoil. Accusations are being made. They go all throughout Beartown, and every single resident of Beartown is affected by this. It says the story explores the hopes to bring a small community together, the secrets that tear it apart, and the courage it takes for an individual to go against the grain. I already love this book just from the synopsis. I really think this is going to be probably another 5-star read for me. That one's definitely on my priority TBR. Next I have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I was thinking of reading this in the fall, but I do love dark academia in the fall time and the winter time, so I'm just going to push it back to the winter time. All I know from this is that it's dark academia. There's a group of students who come together in a New England college. It says they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality. They slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal. I have no idea what these kids are up to, but it doesn't sound good. But it sounds entertaining for me. Sticking with the dark academia theme, I have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I've had this book on my... Oh wait, hold on. Rewind. We're getting into my physical TBR now. I have had Ninth House on my physical TBR for over a year now, which means I need to read it because I'm trying to be better at reading books that are on my physical TBR quicker than them just sitting there for a very long time. So this is Ninth House. I do have Hellbent now, which is book 2. This is going to be a trilogy. I have no idea when book 3 is coming out. The author said that it takes a lot of research to write these books, so she's really spending her time, which is always a good thing. I have heard that book 2 is crazy and the end is crazy and you want to immediately get a book after that. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case if I read both of them, but I do just want to try to get into the first one. This follows our main character, Alex Stern. She was raised in Los Angeles by her mom. She dropped out of school early and now she's just in this very bad slice of life. She's dealing with all these bad boyfriends, bad jobs, and a lot more. By age 20, she is one of the survivors of a homicide. She is in her hospital bed now and she gets offered the chance to go to Yale, full ride. She has no idea why they want her there, why she's the person that they chose to give a full ride scholarship to go to Yale, this Ivy League school. She's trying to figure this out herself. And as she's there, she goes through all these secret society, all this information about these secret societies, and I guess there's these 8 tombs with no windows. They're well known to be haunts from the rich and powerful. And it says their occult activities are revealed to be more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. We're gonna be getting up to a lot in this book, but I'm so stoked. Next up on my physical TBR, I have Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. This is book 1 in Fire and Metal. No idea when the other books are coming out. Don't know how long the series is gonna be. I quite honestly know nothing about this book, but I have heard nothing but fantastic things about this for a few months now. I just really want to pick it up super soon. This is a fantasy, love fantasy in the wintertime. I don't want to know what this is about. I don't want to get any information. I just want to go into this as blind as possible. Some books you just have to do that with. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you what this is about. That doesn't mean I want to stop you from looking it up and reading this yourself. I know a lot of people are starting to read this as well because a lot of booktubers are reading this. I'm gonna be one of them. Next up I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This was actually on my 2024 TBR, so hopefully I can still stick with that and read this by the end of this year, but if not, we'll just push it back a couple months into the beginning of 2025. This is a evil queen retelling, I believe. The queen from Alice in Wonderland. Is she the evil queen? I don't know. I've never seen Alice in Wonderland. I don't really know the story too well, but I think it's that queen, and we're getting a little retelling. This follows our main character, Catherine. It says she may be one of the most desired girls in Wonderland and a favorite of the unmarried king. Already love that, but her interests lie elsewhere. Love that even more. I love when we have a main character, a fantasy, and the girl just has completely no interest in the man that wants her. So she wants to be a little baker and have her own bakery, and her mom's like, no, you can't do that because you are able to be a queen. You need to take that role instead. She ends up at a royal ball, and at this royal ball, the king is supposed to be proposing to her, but she meets another god. It's the handsome and mysterious Jest. Oh my god, I just read the next sentence. I love this even more. Okay, I have to read this soon. It says, for the first time, she's feeling like a true pull of affection for Jest, whoever this is. At the risk of offending the king and infuriating her parents, she and Jest enter into a secret courtship. I love secret stuff, okay? Don't even start. Oh my god. I'm so excited now. I can't believe I didn't read the back of the book. Like, I knew kind of what this was about, but I didn't know that. Okay. We might be reading this literally next. Next up I have Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Sugimura. I've wanted to read this book for a while too. This is said to be giving off Studio Ghibli vibes. Love Studio Ghibli. Our main character, Kokoro, she was bullied to the point where she dropped out of school. She just hides in her bedroom now. She doesn't even want to face her family or her friends. And then all of a sudden her mirror begins to shine. She touches this mirror and she goes into this new world. And there's a castle. There's one specific room in this castle where it grants a wish. Kokoro and 6 other students try to spend their time getting to this room in this castle, unlocking all these castle secrets. And I think they start going against each other in a way. This book is about loneliness for the most part, and I just love that theme. This is one of the books that I'm most excited for. And this is a 5-star prediction for me. I'm crossing my fingers that I love this book because it just seems like it would be something that I absolutely adore. Next on my physical TBR, I have God's Grave by Jay Kristoff. I just bought this book. If you watched my recent Ultimate Book video, this was in that book haul. This is book 2 of the Nevernight Chronicle trilogy. I want to read this one and Dark Dawn, which is the last book. I want to finish out this trilogy. This is a story about Mia. She's an assassin. She's trying to get revenge on the people who executed her father. She's going to this school to train to become one of the best assassins so she can do what she needs to do. Very high stakes, very dark, very gross at some points. It's a little disturbing, but fantastic. Love the writing, love the world that Jay Kristoff has built for this. The characters are great. There's a little side character that's Cat. It's so cute, but I definitely want to finish out this trilogy. And speaking of finishing out trilogies and series, the rest of my TBR, I know this wasn't a lot of books because if we're talking about winter 3 months, I will probably end up reading around 30 books. This wasn't nearly 30 books, but I do just want to focus on finishing series that I'm in the middle of during the winter. I have the Crave series, I have Zodiac Academy, Boys of Tommen, the Natural series, and the Truly Devious series. Just from the top of my head, I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm in the middle of. There's probably books coming out that I want to read. I know that Her Radiant Curse in paperback is coming out by Elizabeth Lim. This is the prequel to Six Crimson Cranes and the Dragon's Promise. I freaking love those books to death, so I will for sure be picking this up. I have the pre-order actually. Hopefully it shows up in my new house. I couldn't change my address, so we'll see if that shows up. If not, I'll have to go out and buy the book, but I definitely will be reading that the second that that shows up. And then I also have Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood that's coming out in February. I think there are a couple more books that are coming out in the first 2 months of next year, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I really just want to focus on the books that I showed you and then the series that I'm in the middle of, just so I can get through those and feel satisfied that I'm finishing series. And then lastly, I do have a graphic novel. I don't think I've ever read a graphic novel before, but I've had this for a while. This is Cheese Sweet Home. It's a complete Cheese Sweet Home collection, but it's part 1. So I think that this is technically split up into different parts or stories, and those are all into this, or I could be wrong and this could just be part 1 of the complete collection. But I do just want to read this one first and see if I like it. I'm sure I will because it's about a cat and it looks so darn stinking cute. Look at him. He's so adorable. Or she. I don't know what it is. But this is just about a cat. Yep, that's it. No, but I know this is about a cat that's lost and then a family finds him, picks him up, and then you just go through this cat's life with this new family. And that is it for my winter TBR. I have a lot of books that I'm excited for. I'm very excited for 2025 and reading. Comment down below what's on your winter TBR. If you have a whole list, feel free to tell me because I'm always interested in seeing what you guys are reading and what you guys want to read. I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. As I'm filming this, I forget what tomorrow is going to be, so you guys will just see when that video pops up in your feed. I hope you have a great day and a great night wherever you are. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.